Joel Topf with Nephrology Times, live in New Orleans for National Kidney Foundation Spring Clinical Meeting with Anna Gaddy.
I'm Anna Gaddy. I'm also with Nephrology Times, and I am here in New Orleans. I am surviving after my body's weight in shellfish and, muffaletti.
Great food.
Great food
in
here.
New Orleans.
Amazing. Great music.
This is day two. Today opened up with the Lazarus lecture by Ron Wald. I interviewed him yesterday. He blew the doors off.
Yep.
He talked, besides just getting his life story, which was very interesting, he then went through the START AKI trial, really from where the idea came from, what it took to get it going, what the lessons were from that. It was incredibly inspiring. And then he went on to the phosphate trial, which is, we don't have results on that, but it's going to ask probably, I think, one of the most important questions in end-stage renal disease is what do we do with the phosphorus? We have spent so much energy treating, managing phosphorus, and we have no idea if it makes a difference. And the fact that we're just now organizing a study to answer this is just embarrassing, right?
Yeah, and I think the topic of the lecture was a lifetime, and I may be misphrasing this, but a lifetime of research in dialysis. And I think that kind of encompasses these are really difficult trials to do. That's why we didn't have good answers to when do we start dialysis, when do we stop dialysis, when's the best time in AKI, what do we do with phosphorus? These are questions that we all ask. It's not that people don't know we need answers, but they're incredibly difficult to do. Start AKI obviously gave us information. There were many trials before that trying to answer the same question. So it's important to, he stopped and talked about how the trial was done and why they designed it the way they did. And those details are so important for someone to do them correctly so that we get good answers. So it was really inspiring and awesome.
One of the other great parts of the talk was he spent a long time talking about his mentors, the people that inspired him all through his career. And then he flipped it around and talked about his mentees and the people that he's pushing forward and promoting, and just really that's our role wherever we are in nephrology is who brought us up and who are we bringing up?
Who are we pulling up behind us? Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
And it's funny, one of the things I love about these national meetings is the opportunity to see former fellows. And I've bumped into a couple of former fellows here. And it's great to see, what are they doing now and how are they thriving? And, there is a lot of greenfield and opportunity in nephrology. These fellows are getting great jobs and doing wonderful stuff.
Also seen some really wonderful posters by students and by residents. And I know there's a lot of discussion about the nephrology workforce pipeline, but we might not have the numbers, but boy, we've got some star power in our training.
And I think that's important. I think it's the quality, not the quantity.
They're
that's important.
So invested.
And that maybe if we just right size the number of fellowships, we wouldn't be so panicked about the interest in nephrology, because the people that are doing it are great.
Stellar students.
Yes, stellar.
And so I think one of the cool things that I was thinking about as Dr. Wall was talking is we've had it's been an amazing year. We all kind of suddenly out of nowhere realized that, hey, the number of dialysis patients is going down. Awesome. The number of dialysis units is decreased. Right. It's working. We've got all these, we're going to fix IgA, we're going to fix FSGS, we're going to fix diabetic kidney disease. But one of the things I think is great about the program for this meeting is that we're still paying attention to how can we do dialysis as best as we can. What are the quality metrics we should be looking for? How do we get patients on home modalities? How do we have equitable transplants? And I think that's so important because there's still a lot of patients who, will be needing these therapies. And so I was really heartened to see that kind of programming too, because I can just imagine, being a patient and thinking well, what about, what about us? So I thought that was really cool too.
Well, and I think one of the other themes of this meeting, and in fact, a consistent theme of Spring Clinical Meeting is how do we work together? How do we get nurses and NPs and dietitians and social workers all rowing the boat in the same direction?
Yeah, and what should that direction be? So you're talking about team building today. One of the sessions later on that I think is really cool is about how to use a team-based approach. Sylvia Rosas is, I think, chairing that session, and it's based on how to use a team-based approach in the optimal management of kidney metabolic disease, or kidney cardiometabolic disease, as I like to call it. There's another session that I think is really neat on advances in nephrology. And I thought, well, what is this session? It's basically advances in all different areas. So Catalina Sustak is talking about how the heck we're supposed to use precision nephrology. What does that mean? And how do we make sense of all of her really neat but pretty esoteric papers on transcriptomics and things like that. There is a talk about new age medical education. There's a talk about peg transplants. And then there is a talk about AI. So I think kind of everything that is new and a little confusing all in one session. So I thought that was really great for the sometimes slow to uptake. I'm a bit of a Luddite to these things. So I thought that was a really cool session as well. So I won't be able to get both of them, but they're on demand. So it's going to be a great meeting. And then tomorrow there's some really cool programming as well. So
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. It's been a great meeting so far. Nephrology Times will keep you posted on all of it.
Keep it rolling.